That's a cute little tuning keyboard. What an ingenious idea.
Yeah, we've got this homemade tuning keyboard.
Great, thanks.
Obviously homemade. We got one on the floor here.
What is it?
There's a chime that
One bell.
the cord let go. Yeah. All this mechanism looks to be in nice shape. Everything in here seems to be in pretty good shape, which we were very pleased about when we saw it. Yeah, this is a gorgeous trumpet. Can't wait to hear it.
This is all Kimball pipework, and it's just the creme de la creme.
Yeah, there's been some dampness up here, but it doesn't look like anything severe. These are some of the orchestral reeds here. French horn,
There's a
brass trumpet here,
looks like a saxophone or corned way.
right? Orchestral oboe, the thin one.
Let's see, French horn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they-
you're
they-
right. French
they-
horn, saxophone.
Usually
orchestral oboe.
adjacent to the chest, they would put a card or something with the stop names.
These orchestral oboes are a big scale. That's going to be quite a sound. The Kimball stuff is very overbuilt. Beautiful, heavy chests, lots of room. You know, their organs took up a lot of space, and so crowding was never an issue with them.
Nope.
I mean, you look at this mixture and the amount of space that's between things. It makes such a difference.
This organ was, again, supposed to be a combination. It wasn't strictly a theater organ.
Yep.
So there's a
Yeah, we were just joking.
straight organ stops in here.
Although it has a theater organ console, you would not see a 7-rank mixture in most theater organs. But they wanted it to be very useful and versatile. And when Peter Conti played this one, it still worked. He absolutely loved it. Said it was just superb. Both Carl and I are worried about all this white on the zinc. That's never a good thing.
Where's this name?
Well, that means there's been a lot of moisture. And of course, at the seashore, you know,
Salty moisture.
yeah,
Reacts with the
it's
metal.
something we have to figure out how to keep from happening. Carl, it would make sense for them to do the channel side
Yeah,
and not worry about the other.
that's what I'm thinking.
No, and I think you're right, they just
Either mixed them up or a couple got stripped out, maybe.
lost the springs. Oh,
Anyway,
I see what you mean.
You can
Just put it under extra. Yeah, that's not a good thing. You wouldn't think they would have had these bottom boards off that much, though. I mean, if everything played and worked pretty well. But you never know. You're going to have to drop one and look at the leather.
Yes, eventually. See, now those magnets we looked at in the shop take the place of the individual magnet here and the pneumatic second stage, both of which were combined into those two-stage magnets that Midmer-Losh used. This pipework really is in very nice condition, especially the reeds. They don't look like they've been abused.
That French horn looks like it's the same scale as what we have.
Yeah.
Because you see the offset chest, it's gigantic.
So this is an octave, 4-foot octave, 2-foot, and a mixture.
This first section is all the mixture. And then the big pipes over there, that's the octave. And you can see it's 4-foot. And these are the bottom of your reeds. You can see the beautiful wooden, I think that's a tromba, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Magnificent tromba.
This must be the trombone unit here.
Here's the bottom end of your French horn with its flat top. And then there's the bottom end of your trumpet. Anything that doesn't fit on the chest, they will offset like that and put it over here.
That says tuba. I wonder if that's from upstairs. Bass is from upstairs, you know.
Might be pedal too, we don't know. And there's something beautiful back there. Is that the 32?
That's the, yeah,
Wow, that's cool to have that in a theater organ.
I'll say.
Theater organs never usually had a 32. If they did, they had a big diaphone in the biggest of theaters, but this has got a 32 metal, which is quite unusual. Our worry is, you know, the console has to be done and the new relay has to be done because they cut out the old relay, you know, just tore it out asunder. So you're never going to hear it again until you put in something that's going to make it work from the console. So, and the console's a mess. It's needed restoration for years. So the first phase is to restore the console, put a new relay in, and then wire it up to the chess. With the hopes that the chess will work.
Which, since they were working when the organ was shut down, we're hoping will, for the most part, still work. Then at least it can be heard, and
Exactly.
then we can plan out the
The
rest of the restoration of it. Everything's pretty close in up here. It's really hard to
Here we
see.
go. There's the trombone. Okay, that's what we saw downstairs. Here's the.
We're seeing the upper end of some of those basses that you were looking at the far end downstairs.
Look at how many of them go harmonic. Isn't that amazing? That'll be quite a sound.
There's a post horn at this level.
Yeah, is that what that was?
Yep.
The one at the very front? Boy,
Did they do
that'll-
the one at the store? They did, didn't they?
What?
They did the one at the store, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's why it looks the same.
Oh, that's.
Oh, that's where they have them marked in the front.
It's open there.
We knew the placard was there somewhere. Post horn, a pair of cellos, tuba, and tuba mirabilis.
Wow.
There's also a clarinet up here. Was there another reed over there? No.
No. Yeah, well, the clarinet, yeah, right here in the front.
This is interesting because this because of the size of the instrument, you can sort of take the whole project in at one time. Where the other one is sort of a section at a time you have to think of. It's too big to think of all at once.
So somewhere there has to be, unless this, oh, yeah, there's the spreader. Okay, there was a spreader on both sides. So they didn't have to have that big a conduit. They just had to have, all these organs were supposed to have had very, what do they call them? Soft bends.
Sweeps?
So they could get
Yeah.
things like that through it.
Problem is the cable turns to stone after a while, and whether it's a sweep or not, you still can't get it out.
See what I mean about all that big pipe work? It's a good spot.
Oh, there must be some 16-foot strings here mitered in the back too. How interesting. Wow, it's big scale. What is this? Anybody have a flashlight? Oh, violin diapason.
That makes sense.
That's one of them, and then there's another down here which I can't see.
Well, everyone told me that this is just probably one of the best Kimballs in the country. And when you see the pipework that's here.
I'm looking forward to it because I've never heard it.
Yeah, Peter Conti raves about it. Said it was a ball to play.
Unusual.
This is the floor. I'm almost sure. You can't get in here. Yeah, I can see the light coming through. This was where the telephone room was.
Yeah, is that where we're going to put it?
Yeah, there was the.
Can't find a switch.
This is an empty room, and we're going to move the blower that is now down in the basement in a mess because it's always wet up here where it doesn't have to be wet anymore. I tried the keys last time. I don't think they gave us that.
Probably not.
Ah! Yeah, this is it. See, you have to understand, I'm brokenhearted because the telephone equipment isn't here anymore.
Yeah.
But you see, this was where they had all the switching equipment for their telephone center, and that was all torn out. So this makes a perfect room to have the blowers in and then send it downstairs and tie into the old lines. That will be the low pressure and high pressure blower.
Both.
Yes.
Yeah. The air lines were cut when they did the renovation at that portion of the building, so that relay came out and the booster blower.
And we can actually show them the blower down there and they'll see what
Yeah.
we're talking about. It's
The
all
main
wet.
blower wouldn't necessarily have to be relocated, but if we can, it's in such a damp spot now. It's on the level of the parking garage. And it periodically gets wet.
And they said we could have this room, so it's ideal.
Excellent.
Yeah. Plus, this could also be a place for tools and a workbench for this organ. You know, when you got to pull something out. This was the feed from the high pressure, which was disconnected because they tore that whole room out. That's where the relay was in here on the other side of that wall. So they both run in this direction, and the thought was we'd pick them up in the center underneath that room and just go over and go right up because there's a lowered ceiling in there, so we can do the work up above it. Does this turn on? Yeah, there we go. At least we have a little light. we're over here.
I thought there was a hallway door for this one too, no?
There might be, but I somehow remember it's hard to get to, or it's covered with pipes or something.
What was the deal on this?
See where they dropped something on the airline? Yeah. We've got to fix that. I didn't say it was going to be easy.
I know we didn't have to do this last time.
I was going to say.
Uh-oh.
Well, let me do this. Let me go up this side and see if I can see.
Well, I'm going to wait then.
They're not leaking. So this is a roof leak. We need to let them know about that. It's too close to the organ chamber. Definitely. Oh, just such beautiful work. You know, painted wind lines. They took the time to do stuff right.
What is that response thing?
This is for lifting your diaphones. They're so heavy. See that back shelf of 2x4? This fits in like so, and then you have the leverage to pick it up, so that you can move it out of the way to get your beater out if you need to work on it, if it's acting up. And it's always a good sign when someone has been kind enough to leave it. I think Kimball and Wurlitzer and I think Austin might have made something similar with the magneton, but they experimented with the magneton so much. I think it was different with every organ. This was for accompanying silent movies mostly, so that you could do all your sound effects. But you have a snare drum by operating this and putting the snares on it, and then when you hit it, you get the snare effect. Then when you did this, you just got the tom-tom without the snare, and that was all controlled by switches on the console. And this is a Chinese gong. I'm sure you picked that up.
Tell us what else is out there. You don't have to go.
This is a which is wonderful to have. This is a vibroharp, which is a Cruciglot that warbles, which makes a very nice effect.
Microphone.
Yep. Then you have a marimba, orchestral bells, all the usual percussions, and a nice bass drum. There's a quint. That's probably a little oboe of some kind. Yep, echo horn. That makes sense. Oh, this is nice. Gorgeous linen weave. I always liked how they did that. When you pour your lead, it's on cloth, and this is the cloth. But normally all builders would show the outside being smooth, but they would do this.
So they would show that this is typically inside on
That's correct. That's correct. And this is very heavy. I'm sure that's probably a phonon diapason. It's probably the upper end. In fact, it is the upper end of the diaphones. It's very important to have everything in a very tight space, because you want the sound not to be wasted in the room they're standing in, but force it to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chambers are shallow and wide. That's what you want.
Yep. A theater organ tends to need more care tuning-wise, because they shake from the violent tremulence, and when you shake the wind supply, you also shake the chest a little bit. That's just part of it.
We have to wade in.
See why we want to get it out of here? See all the rusting and everything? Now you saw the size of that room. You can see how well this would fit in here. This is the filter for it, believe it or not. This has just filtered the air. You can see there's the intake and the blower itself.
How's it staying dry?
It's not. Look at how messy everything is. And this gets deep in here. You can see the water levels.
So is it ruined or not?
No, no, but we want to get it up on, look at the rust. We want to get it up in that nice dry room. Well, we won't be using this without re-leathering. Carl, take a look at those ribs.
What size blower is this?
I'll take a look. It's a 30, that makes sense. It's a 30.
What will this
I would expect that, huh?
What will this do?
That was an oil filter, which we won't probably reuse.
What did it do?
It filtered the air because they realized they were down here in the basement. See, there's a set of filters they added too, because this was. Yeah, you can look in there and see the mechanism. And that collected, you know, as the air ran through it like this and got stuck on the oil, it cleaned it. But they're a pain to maintain. And nowadays, we have our HEPA filters you can just throw in the wall and be done with it. But that, for them, that was how they did it.